Hi, and welcome to the Get Local podcast. We are so excited that you have decided to follow us yet again to learn more about these wonderful hidden gems here in the upstate. My name is Joanne Fowler, and I am your host of the Get Local podcast. And again, today we have another wonderful business in our studio. And I know you guys are going to be so excited to hear everything that you're going to hear today. But today in the studio, we have Allison Batson. Welcome, Allison.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me today.
I'm so excited that you're here. Allison is with Alpaca Southern, and they're located here in Travelers Rest. Did you know Travelers Rest just received an award as being one of the 7 cutest towns, I think it was,
I just saw that.
to visit?
Yes, I just saw that recently. That's so exciting.
Yeah, so you're in the hit place.
Apparently.
I went on vacation there a couple of months ago. I had no idea y'all had the alpacas were there. I would have came and visited you while I was there.
Yes.
But we're so excited. So you're going to be able to tell us a little bit. You're a woman-owned business, and today what we're going to do is just talk about you. I just want our listeners to hear all about your business and what you do, and kind of, I would say, different. I don't know if you have anybody else that even does what you do in Travelers Rest, but tell our listeners a little bit about who you are and how you got started, and a little bit about your company.
Yeah. So I was actually, I guess my love of alpacas came several years ago. I was traveling. I came across an alpaca farm and had the opportunity just to visit with them, see them. They're really cute, fluffy animals. So I originally saw that as I was traveling. And just that day, I was like, okay, I love these so much. And it kind of sparked an interest in fiber farming.
Oh.
So like sheep, some goats and rabbits are part of the fiber industry, where you can use their wool for different products you can make. And so that's kind of where that started. I had no experience in it, no really prior interest to it. And then when I got married and my husband and I had this property, I was really interested in some sort of livestock animal. And I was like, why not go with the cutest, fluffiest thing you can find?
And that was the alpaca.
And that was an alpaca for me. So I wound up getting some, really kind of just jumped in head first, and it's been such a cool experience. I didn't plan on really starting any sort of business from it or any sort of agritourism side to it, but that came from just, I wanted to share. I had the opportunity to see them and kind of let that interest be sparked and grow, and so I wanted to give other people that opportunity as well. And also, like, it's so much fun to hang out with the cutest little animals. So why not? Why not share that with others?
That's right. Well, when did you start your business? How long have y'all been in business?
I think it was 2022. So it was very recently. It was August, actually, of 2022. I started out offering photo shoots. That was kind of my gateway into things. I thought it would be super cute to have, little girls in princess dresses walking around with alpacas, and decorate their necks and just make it kind of a cool photo shoot experience. So it started there, and then it just quickly, one thing really turned into another. And I was like, oh, this is fun, coming up with what else can you do with an alpaca?
So how many alpacas did you start with?
I started with 2. And I wound up getting, I needed one more. 3 is technically a herd. They're herd animals.
Wow. Okay.
So I needed one more and got another one. So I've kind of stuck to the 3 number. We had in 2023, in September, we kind of went through a big transition. We had some really tough losses, wound up losing pretty much our whole alpaca farm, our whole herd. Lost the business and kind of along with that. It was faced with, like, do I restart? Do we, continue this? And thankfully decided to do that. So I have one that's still really sick, but he's kind of become a fan favorite. It's Charlie.
Oh my goodness.
He's been with me through the very beginning. So he has a special place, but I wound up restarting in November of 2023, and I got 3 more, and then really just this year was like, all right, like, I'm gonna just buckle down and kickstart this and try to get the business back. And it's grown so much just in 2024.
Oh my goodness. So you said that some of them got sick. Are they very hard to care for? Do they have a lot of different needs than your regular farm animals?
Yeah, I think really the toughest part, like you really need to get really healthy animals from the start.
Gotcha.
That can be hard to know what you're looking for. But then also, yeah, they're kind of exotic animals, so there's not really alpaca medicine you can go find at the store. So it's a little bit of a mixture of like horse and sheep and finding the right vet, like all of those things can be a little bit challenging for such a unique animal. But thankfully, I think we're finally, we have our footing. We understand a lot more. We did find a wonderful vet that's been so helpful.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very important, obviously.
Yes.
So you're not going to the farmer's exchange
No.
to pick up an alpaca. So where are you purchasing these animals?
So the alpaca industry in the U.S. is actually really interesting. I've learned a ton through it. It's almost like showing dogs, like a golden retriever breeding program or something. There's bloodlines that are extremely coveted. There's kind of qualities of their fiber, their bone structure. Like it's a whole world that I did not know existed. There's alpaca shows you can go to.
Oh my goodness! In the U.S. in Travelers Rest,
not in Travelers Rest.
What about South Carolina?
Well, there was one in North Carolina actually that I went to in February. But yeah, so it's a whole world. There's some different websites, and really it's just kind of networking within the community, which I think has been really successful on Facebook. So there's like Facebook pages for alpaca breeders and things like that.
Oh my goodness. So do they need a lot of room? Do you have a lot of property for them to be on? They
don't need a ton of room. They need, I think you can have 8 to an acre is kind of somewhere around there. So they're pretty compact in size. They average about 150 pounds per animal. Mine are a little bit smaller than usual, but that's about where they are.
Well, our listeners would be disappointed to know that you were thinking about bringing one of them today, but you did not. And
they're so pocket sized. I have one that's just over 50 pounds, and I highly considered just kind of throwing him in my car and bringing him today, but it didn't quite work out.
Decided against that a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, I know right now our society seems to be leaning a little bit more into doing a lot of their own, like raising their vegetables, and they're actually going out and looking for businesses who produce, like I see you brought yarn today. So they're looking to support those type of industries. Are you seeing a lot of interest in the alpacas themselves, as well as some of the products that you're going to produce from them?
So I think alpacas are really unique, and the fiber industry is really unique. The I've called it the homesteading movement has been super, super popular lately. But one area that I haven't seen it grow as much has been more in like more of your sustainable and natural fibers. So like sheep's wool, even, cotton, things like that are either coming from plants or animals. I haven't seen quite as much of a push in that, although I will say even in the last few months, it could just be the people I'm talking to have started to express more of an interest in that. That's the obvious question I always get is, oh, they're so cute, but like, what do you do with them? So what I do and what alpaca farms, a lot of them focus on breeding. Mine's more of kind of just for fun and something that I enjoy. So as I had these animals, they get sheared once a year. They get extremely fluffy, and then you shave them all off. And then what do you do with all of this fluff that you have? And so one thing again led to another, not the original plan. And I decided to spin it into yarn. So that's kind of the thing that's popular to do with it. And then you can make things from that. So I brought some to show today. This is from Earl, one of my gray alpacas I have right now. But it's kind of more of a luxury fiber. It has some different qualities than sheep, and it's also hypoallergenic. So some people that might be allergic to sheep are not allergic to alpacas. It's extremely soft. And it has a lot of like moisture wicking qualities and different things like that. So I've been spinning it into yarn to use it, and then I'm just starting to learn to knit because I figured I have so much yarn, I should probably learn to do that. So I started with these little baby booties, and it was just the coolest moment when I was like, wow, like this came from my backyard.
Oh, how amazing. So do you name your yarn the animals' names, or do you just,
Yes.
you do? So tell us
Oh
that.
yeah,
Now for the viewers,
this came
they can
from
see the yarn.
Ollie. Ollie was one of my favorites of my originals. And then Earl is this gray one. They just got sheared, so they are cooler for the summer.
Oh,
So I haven't processed everything yet. So some of this is from, last year and a little bit older, but this one came from Reggie. Like
oh my gosh,
all
that's
of
so
the
cute.
yarn is from one of my animals, or a friend's animal actually gave me some of this as well.
Now I'm looking. I'm going to move this one real quick. It looks like you have one that's multicolored. Is this one two types of?
Yep. So that was
together?
Reggie and Ollie, and then I spun each of them and then basically twisted them together to make a multicolored one.
Okay, so now you're saying spin, and I'm older, so I'm thinking of which was the princess that got picked by the. So do you have this big, huge wheel that you're spinning? Is that what you're doing to spin the yarn?
That is like the traditional, the big wooden one with the pedals.
Yes.
I actually don't. I don't have room for that. It's like a piece of furniture, really.
It's
so
huge.
Mine is a little bit more, I guess, newer than that. And it's an electric spinning wheel. It's only, I mean, it's super small. Less than a foot long for sure. And it's something that I can sit there and watch TV, set it in my lap, and then spin the yarn, just as, again, something that I enjoy doing.
Now, are you finding, because I hear that there are llamas here, right? So you have alpaca, or is it mostly alpacas that you're going to see around the area?
So there's a few alpaca farms. I think there's actually a llama farm in Hendersonville.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
There's an alpaca farm. She does a lot of breeding. She has a really good breeding program in Spartanburg. But other than that, I don't really know of any that are anywhere close. I think there's one in Asheville that's an alpaca farm. They have like an Airbnb situation. But yeah,
that would be cool to go out to an Airbnb and actually get to go out and see the alpacas.
Yeah.
Now, what about your yarn? If someone wanted to buy your yarn, do you sell it online, or do you not have enough that you sell it online? How's that work?
So we have been going to markets. That's something that we've tried just recently in the last few months. We have one coming up near Christmas. That's kind of the next one that we're planning. But we do, I have an email, alpacasouthernsc@gmail.com is our email. And a lot of it's just, sometimes I'll post pictures on our social media, mostly Instagram and Facebook, for people that might be interested. Everything's very hand spun and hand processed. I wash it all myself. I process it all myself and then spin it all myself. So it definitely can be a lengthy
like a full-time
process.
job.
I know, and it's something I really just enjoy doing, which is good. And there are fiber mills where you can send things off and they'll do it all for you.
But you're doing it yourself.
But I decided to do it myself. It was an experience I wanted.
So do you have like an Etsy store where they can go buy it, or
I don't yet.
Just
No,
all on
most
Facebook
of
or the
it-
markets?
Yep, or email that too.
That is great. Now, I know at Christmas, every year I always go to the Christmas shows. I go to the Christmas shows in every city that I can possibly go to. And you're seeing more and more of the alpaca and llama socks.
Yes.
So I think that has become really popular, right?
Yes, and they're the most comfortable socks. The baby booties are as far as I've gotten in terms of knitting socks. One day I'm going to learn to knit my own socks for my own animals. But yes, they are extremely comfortable. Honestly, even like all year, they're fantastic.
Oh my goodness. So what is that mostly what people are making, or scarves, hats?
Hats, yeah. I mean, sweaters, gloves, mittens, things like that.
Well, I know a lady who, she actually sells a lot of her knitting products. She's a young girl, as a matter of fact, but she actually does sweaters, jackets, even the little summer crop tops.
Yeah.
And I could just imagine it with the softness of this
comfortable,
yarn, that it would be much better than just your regular yarn that you go into that's cotton yarn.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between the two types of yarn.
Yep.
So now what about food? How do they eat just regular food that you can buy here, or because they're exotic animals, do you have to get special food for them?
Yeah, so a lot of times they'll just graze in a pasture, and then you have hay available for them, and then they make an alpaca pellet that's similar to kind of horse. It's a grain that you can supplement to help with vitamins and minerals that they might need. So we give them that. We actually have ours on what's called a dry lot, so we don't want them eating any grass. It manages their health a little bit better for where we are in our area. So they strictly eat different kinds of hay. They can have really sensitive stomachs, so they're not like goats. You can't just throw them in a like someone asked me recently, can they clear out my poison ivy?
Oh my goodness.
No, can't clear out your poison ivy. I'm sorry, they're a little bit allergic to that, but
oh my goodness.
but yeah, so we just feed ours hay and then like a supplemental grain.
Well, I wanted our listeners to hear a little bit about the animals themselves and kind of some of the things that you deal with in raising them. But I'm very intrigued by a lot of the services that you offer with them. So you are trying to engage the community and get them involved with your love of the animal. So tell me a little bit of some of the fun stuff that you do so that the community can get to know the alpaca.
Yeah, and I have said pretty much from day one, if you can think of it, we're down to try it. So we're still expanding in this, but the photo shoots, as I mentioned, were kind of how things started. Those became extremely popular, and we still do a lot of those.
So who are coming out for those? Let's talk a little bit about that. So is it a family saying, I just want my picture with an alpaca? Or
a lot
of times, a kids party?
Yeah, a lot of times it's just like a lot of photographers will host mini sessions or something. So we usually work with the photographers.
Gotcha.
The photographers find their clients. But we do have people that come to us all the time asking, I want our family pictures with them, or our Christmas card pictures. That was really cute. And we decorate their little necks with like Christmas wreaths and bows and things. So it's either through the photographers that offer the sessions or individuals, and then we usually recommend the photographers that we work with. But those have been extremely popular. And then alpaca yoga was something that I thought would be fun, just kind of as an experience. They don't jump on your back or anything similar to goat yoga, but they hang out with you and kind of look at you funny when you're making the poses.
So do you teach the yoga, or you bring an instructor?
I'm not experienced in yoga at all, but I have an instructor that comes in, and she is absolutely fantastic and does really, really cool classes. It's a nice way to kind of relax and unwind, especially from a crazy day or something, and then you're with these kind of really calm, cute animals in the process. We have done birthday parties. So we recently got a trailer where we can take them to different parties, and in businesses as well. So we actually have something coming up with a local coffee shop where we're calling it llamas and lattes, even though they are not llamas. It was too perfect to pass up. But just something as like part of their grand opening, just to kind of invite people to come hang out with alpacas and drink coffee.
Oh, how fun. Is that going to be in Travelers Rest, in Rock Hill?
That's in Taylor's.
In Taylor's. How fantastic.
Yep. So even like local businesses, we did one for National Ice Cream Day last year. Just as kind of a way to draw people to their business, and then in the process, it's a fun event they can host. But yeah, so taking them places, having things on our farm, kind of our most basic and common thing are our meet and greets. That's basically just the opportunity for people to come, spend an hour with them, pet them, feed them, and just kind of hang out with them. So that's definitely throughout the week. We book those. It's by appointment only, but those are definitely a cool experience if you just want to come see them.
Now, you mentioned there's a breeder in Spartanburg. Are you guys breeding yours at all?
We're not. They are extremely young. So I just got them in November. They're 2 and then 1 and 1. So they live to be about 20 to 25 years old.
Oh my goodness.
So they are extremely young. They're not even close to breeding yet, but who knows? Really, at this point, I'm not taking anything off the table. I didn't think I would be here today. So
now, are they naturally domesticated? So are they, very friendly? They like people to come around?
Yeah, they really are. They can be skittish. So like you have to really work with them in getting familiar with different sounds and people jumping around or something, but they're doing fantastic with that. So they're extremely calm, and they just kind of look at you funny.
So I think they said at one time, if you go to the zoo, you have to watch out because the ostrich will spit on you. The giraffes will nibble on you. So do the alpacas do any of that, or they're just going to be real shy and run?
They're just very excited about food. So I call it an alpaca swarm. Sometimes a lot of people that want to come in and see them, I'm like, maybe if you're comfortable with them being in your space, then like that's totally fine. But if you're not, maybe just give it a minute, let them calm down because they get very excited.
Oh, really?
When people pull in, they know exactly exactly what's happening.
Oh my goodness. So what does an excited alpaca look like? What is their characteristic? Let's talk about that for a minute.
They just, I mean, for mine at least, and this can vary, I guess, per animal, but for mine, I have two that'll just come right up to you and just stick their head kind of right by your face and are like, hello, I'm here. And then I also have one that's been prancing a lot lately.
Oh my gosh.
It looks very much like a reindeer, but he just kind of bounces around and runs. Sometimes he'll kind of throw his legs off to the side and take off, and
he needs to be on camera.
Yeah, he's very excited.
we need to get the video over there for him.
Yes.
Well, this just sounds like a Disney movie. I mean, it's just so exciting talking about these little animals. So how long are you guys? I mean, they live for a very long time, obviously. Yep. So you're looking to expand the business even more. You're looking to expand it as in other activities. You're looking to expand it as in getting more alpacas.
Yeah, we're very open to coming up with new ideas. One other thing that we offered in the spring and we hope to offer again in the fall are educational workshops. So as I've kind of mentioned, the fiber industry was something I was interested in but knew nothing about. And as I was kind of working with their fiber and learning to process it myself and then make a product out of it, I thought this would be really cool to share with everybody. This is kind of a side of things that I had never seen. And it's also kind of, at least for a time, was a very much dying industry with all of the, the cheaper options that are really out there. But if we want kind of to go back to more of the natural things and the more sustainable things, it's a great option. So that's one thing that we were offering to a lot of like school groups, homeschool groups. We had so many of those in the spring, and it was a really cool opportunity for kids to get to come see the animals.
Yeah, because we're going to see an alpaca out.
Yeah,
really.
But also learn about the industry, and even it's kind of a hands-on workshop where they get to participate in processing it.
I think that's great.
Which is really cool. So, like I said, like we're down for pretty much any idea that anybody has. We're interested in it. But in terms of expanding, I think it's mostly expanding our availability to be able to do more events and host things like we've done some picnics around like Valentine's. We've had Galentine's Day picnic where it's a picnic with alpacas. Or
I think you do painting. I forgot about
nights,
that. Yeah,
yep,
paint
yep,
nights. Now, how does that work with the paint night? I was very intrigued by that one. So are you painting the animals?
You paint an alpaca with an alpaca.
Oh my gosh.
They don't really paint, but but they also hang out, and there's some of the cutest pictures of alpacas looking at this painting, and one of them actually thought that it was an alpaca, and he was kind of checking it out, trying to like look behind the painting to see like, is this an animal or what is this?
Oh my goodness. So now, do they lick you at all, like a dog or nothing?
No.
So
they're
just gonna look at you.
They're just gonna look at you
and say pet me, or prance and throw their legs to the side.
Yeah, you never know. We recently had a little girl that just really hit it off with Jerry, he's one of the younger ones. And they were dancing around the pen together, and like it was very much together. So
that is definitely a Disney movie video.
You never know what kind of experience it's going to be.
Oh my goodness. Well, now one of the things that I was really interested in is, and I don't know if you guys do it or not, but a lot of people who are bringing in animals are doing therapy. So like there's horse therapy for children who have autism or anything like that. Is that something that you guys have ever thought about expanding into?
Yeah, we recently took them to, it was a assisted living facility.
Oh.
That was actually the first time we had ever taken these newer animals off of the farm. And it was the coolest experience I think we've had to date. It's so cool. They had such a neat event for the residents where they had like a tea party for them as well. But I think you can technically register them as therapy animals. I haven't really looked into it that much, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
That would be awesome.
But we're definitely trying to, as they're young, really train them and getting them out. Even just like I took one to Furman University one time and was walking him around just to get used to the bikes and all the people. And it turned out to be kind of a thing, I guess. A message went out saying there was an alpaca on campus, and all these people start running from across campus.
Like I said, where are you going to see an alpaca? Well, now everywhere in South Carolina. So
apparently, I'm taking them everywhere. So, but yeah, so that is something that I think would be really cool. I'm not sure how a hospital would react to that,
Yeah.
but so far the assisted living facilities, I've gotten so many
I think
messages
that's
about
great.
people interested in that.
Well, and there's so many people since COVID that I think have not been able to pull themselves out of the funk that they fell into. And something like what you're doing, I think is fantastic. You know, whether it's yoga or it's coming out and just getting out into nature, you know, sitting in the sunshine, painting a picture, whatever the case may be, whether you're painting the picture with the alpaca or or not, you know. But I just think it's important for people to get out, and I think that's providing a wonderful opportunity for people to get back out and to laugh and to smile and to just start feeling better, you know?
We've had so many people, and that's something that just makes me so happy, but we've had so many people that are like, this, I just needed this. I needed this today. I needed the smile and the fluffy little faces coming at me. And I love hearing that.
Okay, so I'm not gonna we're not gonna tell them, and they're not gonna watch the podcast. So which one's your favorite and why?
Well, as I mentioned, Charlie and I, he was one of my originals. We've been through so much together. We both lost our friends when we lost our first herd. And he and I mean, we've been to Starbucks together. We went to Furman together. We've been he and I are real close.
He's like, come hop in the car. We're going for a ride.
He has a little bit of an attitude, but that's okay. I love him dearly.
Oh my goodness.
But of my new ones, I would have to say Jerry. He's kind of my prancer that prances around, but his personality, he's the tiniest one. He has the fuzziest ears, and he has just the biggest personality, and he's kind of just down for an adventure.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting my calendar. I'm coming out there today.
You have to come see them.
I have to come see them. You have just really piqued my interest. Well, I know we're kind of getting close to the end of the show, but is there anything you want to tell anybody or any of our listeners about your business, about the alpaca, about the yarn? I mean, just what do you want to make sure everybody knows when they end this show today? What do you want them to know?
Yeah, I think just if you find yourself in the Travelers Rest area, in the Greenville area, we would love to have you come out and come meet our alpaca boys. They're so much fun to be around, and there's so many fun things that we have going on. Definitely, we keep our social media pretty updated with our events and things that we offer. So it's at Alpaca Southern on both Instagram and Facebook. And it has all of the updates and also just really cute pictures and videos all the time of them doing the most ridiculous things.
So they need to get on your social media and share.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get on social media and share it and let everybody know. And I think I'm going to go back. I don't remember who wrote the article. I actually shared it on Get Local about Travelers Rest. I'm going to go to them and send them an email and say, when you spoke about Travelers Rest, you did not talk about Alpaca Southern.
I agree.
And you need to go check them out.
I think
maybe do a whole article on just y'all.
I agree. I think right now we're considered a hidden gem.
You are a hidden gem.
So we're trying to be less hidden and a little brighter with our gem.
Yes, for sure. I think it's fantastic. I was so excited for you to come in and interview today, and it just would have been an amazing show had you brought one.
I know. Next time
there's
just going to be a little fluffy face here next to us.
Well, we are talking today from the 864 Sound studio, and they're here at Sweetbriar Road. Brandon Higginbotham is the owner, and y'all, this man is a technical audio video genius. He really is. He's probably laughing at me in the sound room right now, but he does everything. So if you need music recorded, if you need any kind of music for any production that you have, if you need video, we do commercials. He is amazing. He's been doing this for a very long time, so he's not a newbie out there. I hope that you guys will come and do business with Brandon. 864 Sound, Brandon Higginbotham. You can reach him on all the social media platforms. Check out some of the videos he's doing. We need a video.
It's an amazing studio.
It is an amazing studio. We love him. He takes care of all of our podcasts. If you want to do a podcast and you want it professionally, this is where you need to come. Yeah. So I hope you guys will come. Be sure to follow us and learn more about these hidden gems. By the way, if you know one, send them to me so that we can get them on the show, because Get Local loves to feature those businesses. You don't want to give out your address, but you're in Travelers Rest. If you guys want to book a session, how they book a session with you?
They can message me on social media or email alpacasouthernSC@gmail.com.
And we need a little sticker. Do you have car stickers? We need some car stickers.
I do have stickers, actually. I have stickers. I have all sorts of really cute swag.
Cute swag. So go to the site, go see the alpacas, get your picture taken with them, do some yoga, a little painting.
Yeah.
A picnic.
Just come make your day a little
Just
bit
come
brighter.
make your day a little brighter. And look for them maybe on a new Disney movie.
Who knows?
Who
Yes,
knows,
I
right?
think so.
Well, Allison, thank you for joining us. 864 Sound. Check them out. Get Local. Follow us. Get Local SC. We're also on TikTok, Instagram. We're all over the place. Join one of our networking groups. We would absolutely love to have you be a part of our organization. Thank you for following us as always, and we'll see you next time with another hidden gem from the upstate South Carolina. Take care. Bye-bye.